listen to this passage out of Oswald Chambers. So this is from My Utmost. It says, "Whatever you ask in my name, that I will do. The disciple who abides in Jesus is the will of God. And what appears to be his free choices are actually God's foreordained decrees. Is this mysterious? Does it appear to contradict sound logic or seem totally absurd? Yes. But what a glorious truth it is to the saint of God." I was just saying today this kind of concept where when we walk in the room, we bring the presence. And the girls and I were talking about what our greatest calling is. I said, the reason why I live is to give. And they were like, "But what about getting?" And I said, "No, I live to give. It's not just giving to others. I live to give my life back to God, to worship God. I live to give worship to God. I live to give honor and bring him fame. I live to give back everything I am to him. My whole being is found in the fact that I owe him all I am and all I'll ever be because of his cross. That he has given me more than I could earn or deserve in the grace of God through the cross and through salvation, through grace, through faith in Jesus Christ alone. It's Jesus alone. I owe him everything, and I want to live to give my being back to him. I am his hands and feet, and that when I walk in a room, I want him to have access to be able to touch people's lives through my hands, to take me places he wants to go with my feet, to speak his words through my mouth. And most people in the world, I was telling the girls today, most people in the world don't even get to hear God's voice because they're not slowing down to listen. But we can allow God to speak through us. And if we allow him to say exactly what he wants to say with the words he wants to say in the way he wants to say it, then they will hear a direct word from God through a servant of God. And if we don't touch it at all and we give God all glory, then he gets the full effect in their lives and he has access through us. I want to live to give my life back to that. And that's what Chambers is saying here. He says that we become the will of God. And that when we're asking anything in his name, it's not saying that we're trying to get stuff we want. It's that God is doing it and he gets what he wants. All right, I didn't mention this, and I might put a link in here from Sunday's message so you could see what I was sharing on Sunday with the church there. At the end of the service, God's presence was in the room in a tangible way, and people started coming forward for prayer to testify before I even closed the service, which was that's not very normal, especially there. And one of the stories that happened is while I was preaching, and I'm being careful sharing this because it's very interesting, but while I was preaching, there was a lady there, and she was with a friend, and one of the friends is on the staff at the church, so they're credible folks. They were sitting at the back of the church, and the staff member heard the other lady's foot pop. It made a big popping noise, and the other lady looked at her and said, "My foot is healed." And she had some kind of cyst growth inside her foot that at one point had almost caused her to lose her foot to gangrene. She's had damage in both legs, 2 surgeries on the other leg and foot. So they were waiting to do the work on this foot. And in the middle of the sermon, without even praying for her or anyone getting near her, her foot was completely healed. She walked up and just said, with me walking up like this in my shoes and not having any pain, I know I am healed. And the growth had actually disappeared when her foot popped in the middle of the service. We've been seeing some very extreme, demonstrative things that I haven't seen in years in America, and I haven't seen, I see all the time in third world countries, but that's pretty cool. This is, the Gettysburg metro area north of DC, but go Jesus. I don't even know if I'm wanting to put this into the video today, but I just had to share it. We didn't even know to pull the camera up and record because when God's in the room like that, you don't necessarily think, hey, I'm going to video this. It's just there's something very real about it, and you don't just, it's like it feels like you're exploiting. I don't know how to explain it. We're very careful with God's presence, but anyway, I have to share this because this is our life, and if you're watching these videos, you want to see the weirdness, and it's part of the weirdness.